So, what is a simple way to have boundaries or to make boundaries? Because so many different videos talk about that you need to have boundaries to protect your energy and not to feel drained by other people or from being taken advantage of, but they never really go step by step how to do it. So, a while ago, when I was away studying away from my home, I was able to take a step back from the place I lived because where I was, I'm like a stranger. It's a big city compared to the small town that I live in. So everyone kind of knows each other in the town I live in, so it might be a different situation for you, but you can still use the same steps. So first, I figured out what is important to me. What is it? What is it with other people that bothers me? What do I not like and I feel mad at myself after that I allow or I give in to other people with? Because I'm the kind of person before I would just let people do whatever and I'd be a people pleaser, and then I would feel it all build up at a certain point because I never addressed it, and then I would stop interacting with this person in general. But it's not fair to yourself and it's not fair to the other person. But instead, I found ways to interact without sacrificing my comfortability. So first, I list what am I uncomfortable with, especially because I would see so many people every day. So what do I allow myself to do that I don't like? Or what do I allow myself to do for other people that I don't like? That makes me feel bad afterwards, I regret, or I'm not comfortable with. And of course, it eventually leads to resentment against the other person. But at the end of the day, it's also your fault. If someone is taking advantage of you and your kindness, of course, this is wrong of them, but at the same time, it's also your fault that you're letting them take advantage of you. So you have the other half of the responsibility to not allow it, and that's on you. So if you continue to allow it, you're the problem, not the people. How can you expect people not to take advantage of you if you never say anything about it? So I listed a few of them and I'll give examples of what I did. So first, I didn't like the physical contact, like with people, even people you don't know much. There's handshakes or hugging or even kissing on the cheek is common, and I'm not a fan of this. So, because it's just my personality, so I thought, okay, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to hug people, even if they're my friends. So what do I do instead? So if someone goes in for anything, I listed the solution. If someone goes in for anything, I'll just keep it maybe to a handshake and wash my hands after, because it was mostly for cleanliness, because you don't know where people's hands have been. And then I also listed out, because sometimes people tend to pressure you. So then after that, I said, if this doesn't work, okay, I'll do these lies or excuses. For example, in this situation, then if the person still wants to go in for a hug, I'll say, I listed down, okay, I'm just getting over a cold, I was sick, or I just ate and I didn't wash my hands. So multiple different excuses. If the person persists. You have to find the excuse that fits what you're doing and in the situation. So then I'll give two more examples of ones I did. So the second example is people asking, like friends asking for money or different things. So I was really uncomfortable with this, but I would give people money, not huge amounts of money, but more than I was comfortable with. So I set the boundary like, I'm okay with paying for somebody's food or water or drinks or even like a doctor's appointment, this is my boundary. I'm completely fine with this part. But then giving people money, I don't like. I don't feel comfortable with this. So first I said only give, if I do give money, it will be something I feel is a small amount. And you can decide on that number for yourself, or that if you're not willing to give any amount of cash. So then we go, so if someone asks you for money or something, first you refuse, the first one. But then we go on to if the person tries to persist, and because especially if you've already let people walk over you already, it will be harder to set boundaries with people you've already let slip. So they'll generally persist and try to pressure you into giving them money or any amount of money or more than the amount you're saying that you'll give them. So then again, if they refuse the first time, then we move on to lies and excuses to protect yourself. So I made with this lie, if someone wants to pressure me into giving them more money or any money, depending on what I decided in the situation, I'll say, okay, both of my cousins are at the age where they're going to university. So I listed if someone's going to pressure me, okay, I'm going to lie and say I'm helping out my cousins going to school, helping pay their university fees. Because then you're already helping out another person. You can say it for yourself, but the other person, that you have something to pay for yourself, but the other person may not have a lot of sympathy for you. So, but also, some people don't like a lie to lie about emergencies, and that's why I put my lie or excuse as a non-emergency. But you can pick any excuse, even an appointment for yourself, but personally I'll stick to saying it for other people, that I already gave other people money. And then the last example is when people would pressure me to stay out later than I would like to at night. So then I did the same thing again. So I said my boundary, I'm not going to stay out later than I personally want to. Like if I'm having fun, that's fine, but if I'm bored and I want to go home, I'll go home. So then first, I refuse to stay outside longer than I want to, just to please another person, especially a lot longer, many hours more. So I thought, okay, the first response, of course, I'm going to go. Some people will respect that, some people won't. Also, sometimes, it's just to make you feel included as well, to, pressure you to stay, like that. They want to make you feel like you want to be there. It's not always a malicious intent. But if they don't respect that, then we go back to lies again. First excuse, I have work in the morning, early in the morning. Maybe I have to call a family member for some emergency, or it depends. Of course, some things depend on what time. Some things aren't realistic. Like if you need to make a work call or a call to your bank, you want to make this your excuse, but it's in the middle of the night, it probably won't be as effective. And you can always say, end it smoothly, I'll stay a few minutes longer, but I have to prepare for a meeting tomorrow, or my family member is coming to visit me and I have to pick them up from the airport, or anything. It just really depends on your situation. That's the simplest way. And also, after time, I grew. For the first time, for physical touch, I realized over time it doesn't bother me that much. So I left it. And specifically listing out everything helped me train myself, because I used to be a person with no boundaries whatsoever. But I've trained myself to do it without being able to list it like this. So for the first example, I've thrown it away because I don't care anymore. I've grown as a person and come to accept this. But now, because I built these systems, it's easier to act on them and just trust myself and do them naturally. So the first step is just outlining. But eventually you can get to a certain point, you can do it again. But after some time, you'll be able to do it in your head. and you'll be used to it, and other people around you that are used to taking advantage of you or pressuring you will get used to it. And so this is for people that are so used to being people pleasers, because I'm telling you to lie, so it doesn't require any pressure, like, or someone getting mad at you for you choosing to say no, because I know many people find it hard to say no. So if you have any other examples, or you have another way of setting boundaries, let me know in the comments. Have a great day.